And today we are getting into something pretty wild.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I want you, the listener, to imagine running this grueling 90-minute sprint where literally one awkward step or, I don't know, a mistimed tackle could cost you your lifelong dream.
Right, which in this case is playing in the World Cup.
Exactly. The World Cup, which kicks off in exactly 1 week. That is the tightrope the players from Morocco and Norway were walking in the material we're looking at today.
It's an insane psychological burden, honestly.
It really is.
You have these elite athletes, right? They're trained to just go all out, maximal intensity, and suddenly they have to, like, consciously hold back to protect their bodies.
Right, to literally survive until next week.
Yeah.
So we've got a massive stack of notes today. We pulled a broadcast transcript from this Arabic YouTube channel called Kura for You.
Really interesting source.
Yeah, it's covering a 1-1 friendly match between Morocco and Norway. And the commentator calls it a fiery match. Our mission today is to, extract the tactical nuggets and the sheer narrative drama from this broadcast.
Yeah, and even if you aren't a diehard soccer fan, you should really care about this.
Definitely.
Because it's this fascinating case study. It's about how elite teams balance that desperate need for team chemistry and confidence.
Right, against the absolute necessity of not getting injured right before a global tournament.
Exactly. It's risk management at its most extreme.
So to understand how this 1-1 draw happened, we kind of have to look at the team that dictated the tempo early on, right? Morocco.
Yeah, we do.
The broadcast paints this picture of their offense, and it's just electric, like rapid transition offense.
Oh, it was a masterclass.
It really was. So the big breakthrough moment, right? It's this lightning-fast counterattack. Achraf Hakimi basically just rockets up the right wing and completely opens up the space.
Which drags the whole Norwegian defense out of shape.
Totally. And that culminates in Brahim Diaz getting the ball and unleashing this incredibly powerful low-ground shot.
Past Arjan Nyland, the Norwegian goalkeeper.
Right. And the broadcast goes nuts. They highlight this as the first goal in the U.S., and the Moroccan fans are just having massive celebrations.
That's a huge confidence boost.
For sure. But the pressure didn't stop there. I mean, Hakimi fires another rocket that Nyland actually had to scramble to save.
He was incredibly busy.
Yeah, and then there's this massive involvement from the left wing too, right? Through Abdel Zazuli.
Yeah, so what's fascinating here is that Morocco's strategy really relies on this overwhelming speed. They feature this incredibly deep roster of talent getting touches. You're reading about Nael Enaoui, Ismail Saibari, Azzedine Anahi, all these guys weaving these complex offensive networks.
But, okay, let's unpack this a little, because Zazuli was undeniably active, but the final product, it just wasn't really there.
No, it wasn't.
He misses this golden opportunity, just sends it over the crossbar off a brilliant pass from Diaz. And then later, he sends another shot wide right. It kind of reminds me, looking at it through another sport, it reminds me of a volume shooter in basketball.
Oh, that's a great comparison.
Like you take 20 shots to get your 15 points.
Yeah.
So is the takeaway here that Morocco's build-up play is world-class, but their finishing touch is, I don't know, still a work in progress?
I think that's exactly it. The buildup is beautiful, but soccer is a game of incredibly tight margins.
Yeah.
You can dominate possession all day, but those missed chances, they essentially give oxygen to the other team.
Right, because in elite sports, if you don't bury your opponent when you have the chance, they will find your one weakness.
They absolutely will, and that leads directly into how Norway systematically dismantled Morocco's defense for the equalizer.
Yeah, so let's talk about Norway's tactical response, because they realized they didn't need to outrun Morocco, right?
Right, they brought a much more physical threat.
Yeah, specifically targeting the air. The notes talk about Alexander Surloff and Sander Berge.
Berge was just a menace in the air.
It's insane. The broadcast notes, he impressively outjumped literally everyone on a set piece, sending a header just wide. Same with Surloff.
Well, the physical toll of that is huge. Defending massive guys like that drains your cognitive battery.
And when you're drained, you make mistakes. Which brings us to the game-changing equalizer.
The defining moment.
Right. So substitute Oscar Bob comes in, penetrates the right side of the penalty area, and delivers this perfect pass to Martin Ødegaard.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture...
Oh, the commentator's critique here was sharp.
Exactly. Because the fundamental rule of defense the commentator was emphasizing is that a player of Ødegaard's immense caliber requires strict man-to-man marking.
Right.
He's the Norwegian captain. He's an Arsenal star. And they left him completely unmarked in the box. It was a catastrophic lapse for Morocco.
Highly educational, though. But wait, so what does this all mean for Morocco's defense? Because we hear about players like Issa Diop intervening and Marwan Sadan making these desperate clearances, right?
Yeah, they were working hard.
But then they leave the one guy you absolutely cannot leave open, wide open. It's like, I don't know, locking the front gate of a fortress but leaving the vault door wide open. Right. How does a World Cup level defense let that actually happen?
It happens because these friendlies, right before a major tournament, they are just boiling pots of anxiety. You've got players worried about injury, constant substitutions, disrupting the defensive line.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it creates a chaotic, highly emotional atmosphere. And that tension perfectly explains what was captured in the broadcast.
Oh, speaking of the broadcast, the quirks and the controversies were just wild.
So intense.
Yeah, the on-field tension just boiled over.
Yeah.
There's this controversial moment where Morocco takes a quick free kick before the referee's whistle.
Right.
And suddenly, the Norwegian players, with Sørloth right in the middle of it, they are furiously demanding yellow cards for the Moroccans.
Which is crazy.
In a friendly. A game that means nothing mathematically.
This raises an important question, right? About the psychological weight of these warm-up matches.
Yeah.
The players are incredibly tense. They are testing the referees with gamesmanship. And the commentators are already vibrating at World Cup frequencies.
Which is where it gets really interesting for me, because reading the transcript of this Kura for You Arabic commentary, the flavor is so eccentric and passionate.
It's very unique.
Right in the midst of the action, the commentator inexplicably name drops Brazilian stars.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. He just starts yelling about Vinicius, Neymar, Richarlison, and Paqueta. And I'm just sitting here thinking, why on earth is he talking about Neymar during a Morocco-Norway game?
Right. It seems so out of place.
Is he using them as a benchmark for a specific piece of skill on the field? Or is the sheer fever of the tournament just making him hallucinate Brazilian superstars?
Honestly, it's probably the benchmark thing. The World Cup fever is real. Commentators know the level these teams are about to face, so Brazil becomes the ultimate metric for flair and skill.
That makes total sense. And then there was just the sheer volume of players tested.
The substitution.
Yeah, the broadcast is frantically naming subs, trying to make an impact. We're talking Sofiane Amrabat, Soufiane Rahimi, Ayoub Bouadi, Nusser Mazraoui, Samir Mehrbet. It was chaotic.
It is chaotic, but managers have to test their depth. They have to see how role players handle the pressure.
Even if it completely disrupts the flow of the game.
Exactly. It's a dress rehearsal. You have to break the system a bit to see where the cracks are before the real show starts.
Well, wrapping up this deep dive, it really feels like this 1-1 draw was the perfect mirror for both squads.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're listening, you now know exactly what to watch for next week. You've got Morocco's electric, but, you know, occasionally wasteful attacking speed up against Norway's clinical, punishing playmaking.
Yeah, you're armed with this tactical why behind the highlights now.
Exactly.
When the tournament starts, you'll be able to spot the overlapping runs of Hakimi, or that stealthy positioning of Ødegaard in the box, way before the commentators even mention them.
Spot on. But I want to leave you, the listener, with a final psychological question to just sort of mull over on your own.
Okay.
Think about the impact of a drawn dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
Does going into a massive tournament on a tie, like knowing you created brilliant chances but left goals on the table, does that actually make a team hungrier? Are they more dangerous now than if they had just won easily? It's something to think about when they hit the pitch next week.
It's a great point. Frustration can be a powerful fuel.
For sure. Well, thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.